Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Night Stalker.
OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Medusa.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
The series is tied up at 1 apiece. OG now turning to mass team fight to get back up on top. While we've gone for a red and blue theme coming out from Virtus Pro. Cinderin, it seems his crowd is trying to get behind them all.
I was thinking about your comment in the last game where you were like, this team isn't biased toward Virtus Pro. I'm like,
Hey,
really, dude? Really?
Okay, they started the OG chat, and then instantly there was a boo, and the VP guys are right behind him again.
Oh, that's funny.
There's a lot of love for both sides.
Let's talk about the game a bit, because there's actually there's a lot of chop to get done here. This is a very, very different draft and some stuff I quickly want to cover. OG's early game laning stage is not very strong. Their support duo, Phoenix, Elder Titan, I feel like is pretty greedy. It's not that easy to set up kills. It's not that easy to apply pressure. They are very low on lockdown. There's no very obvious synergy with Magnus and Power either. Yes, it's pretty good on Medusa, but you don't get the cleave on anyone. So their lineup has a couple of issues. VP are good at early aggression, but when it comes to the big team fights, OG's lineup is really dangerous to fight into. They have so much AoE control, so much AoE damage. However, what we talked about before in the end of the last game was that, you know, OG seemed to have this problem with losing the early mid game. When I look at this, I don't think it's going to be different. I think they could fall behind even harder in this game than the previous ones, and I hope they prove me wrong, because this game could actually be a really big stomp. But if they manage to get through the mid game and get toward the late game, their lineup is great. But it's a high risk, high reward kind of draft in my eyes.
You can see VP actually working out as well. Like, they understand that OG, okay, the early game is going to be bad, but no one's really going to be contesting anything you do. So the Night Stalker, which is going to be running in 4 position for Lil, goes for the Iron Talon 3 tangos. They're going to try and get a lot of farm inside the jungle if it's going to be possible. So it's up to Jirax to run interference. His stomp actually on no one. With the help of Lil, they still managed to block up the mid lane. So they still get the advantage that way. But Ana, yeah, it's going to be pretty even no matter how this works.
Yeah.
But this for me is the other critical lane. So you talk about like the influence of Virtus Pro with their roaming. You're not going to have a lot from Warlock and Night Stalker to start with. We have to wait for either the first or the second nighttime phase and see how many items Lil has got to see how effective that will be. So in the meantime, it's about the one-on-one matchups. So far, no one has always been on top of Ana in this series.
Yeah, this is a less I feel like this is a lane where even if no one plays exceptionally well, it's less winnable, or you win it by less if you win. But it's still a lane that Dragon Knight can take an advantage in. Just using Breathe Fire well, controlling the creep wave well. Storm will push you. You can push him back. No real kill potential, especially not with the supports of OG like we talked about. The only thing you need to be wary of is don't take too many static remnants, and Dragon Knight's just fine here. So,
yep.
But Ana will have a better time. The options for massive outplay for no one are pretty limited.
Yeah, they're going to require more on the rotations. Jirax, Elder Titan is fantastic for invading the jungle and causing issues for the Night Stalker, but because of the Observer Ward that was already placed down by Virtus.pro overlooking the bottom rune, they knew that Jirax came over, so Lil rotates up and he goes to the opposite side of the map where they also have protective vision. They also saw the fact that OG planted their own Observer Ward there, so for the first nighttime movement, you can bet Nelly that you're not going to have Lil go for that point of aggression.
This is like the dream lane for Axe. If you were to ask me what one of the worst dual lane safe lanes I could come up with would be, this one's pretty high up. Phoenix Medusa is a really bad lane. Pasha is actually just bullying Fly in a 1-on-2 lane because what is he supposed to do? Medusa has no impact in this lane really in terms of pressuring. He can only farm, so Pasha's having a great time. On the contrary, S4 in the bottom lane is up against something way harder. The Warlock, way stronger zoning support.
And it's Ramsey's lifesteal. It's not just a lifesteal, it's Ramsey's lifesteal. This guy...
Oh, great shockwave from S4. That's very important. He just pulled all 3 range creeps with that shockwave instead of giving Solo the pull.
See if we can get any of the last hits on these 3.
This is lane deciding stuff, actually. He got himself about 3/4 of a level with this one shockwave play. S4 is exceptionally good at this as an offlane player, in my opinion. One of the best at manipulating creep aggro.
Open wounds, S4 is going to skewer away. Probably have to trigger that shrine a little bit earlier for him, but he'll be okay with it. Lil does have a small action rune. He found himself a Invis rune, but he's just going to come up and grab the bounty and just continue the farm.
Just looking at Pasha playing Axe. It's kind of funny.
Hey, he's dressed. He's dressed for the occasion. That is one stylish set over on Axe.
Okay, so what OG need to work with here is they need to try to push the wave out with Medusa and get pulls for the Phoenix. They got the one small pull before that Pasha contested. If they can somehow push the wave out entirely and get the big pull, that would make a very big difference for the no-tail Phoenix. Jerax, unfortunately, hasn't really been able to accomplish too much. He pinged out earlier that Lil probably rotated to the other side of the jungle, and he was completely right in his pings, but couldn't really get up there and contest him, and now Lil is back in the other side. So essentially, Jerax is level 1, and Lil is level 3. That's been the trade-off in the jungle. Big win for VP.
Yep, and Jerax really wanted to start fighting. It's the reason why he's got boots and smoke on him. He meant to keep up with the Night Stalker's maneuvering, but Lil, this is great news for Virtus.pro because coming into that first nighttime with uncontested farm plus experience gain, you're going to be looking at Night Stalker having a proper impact in nighttime, which is in 5 seconds time.
Yep. Want to point out, by the way,
the TPing top. You got a level 2 over on Jirax, so the Spirit's going to come out straight to the Stomp. Pasha will be held in position. The creep wave goes around him, but there's no kill tier here. Fly is not ready to fight.
Exactly. Fly wasn't ready, so it's still, I think OG have to try to do stuff like this, connect their support so they can at least assess some sort of pressure on the map, but it's not too easy. Now, here's the problem. VP have successfully gained a 2,000 gold lead in 4 minutes with 0 kills and 0 towers. If there was a tower, that would be pretty bad as well at 4 minutes. That's pretty scary, bro. They're just getting way more out of the map than OG.
That 0 kill may change. You got only 1 point up in Upheaval from Solo, so you went for exactly the same build, but there's no level 6 on the Storm Spirit, so you can rely on Lil. This Storm needs to be able to connect. Jirax, he actually can't do it. He was short of the mana, which means he cannot hold VP in place, which allows Virtus.pro to get first blood, and Lil's not done. He'll chase down Jirax, as he's got the nighttime advantage here. A 2-0-1 over on Lil and Jirax. Well, Stomp comes off cooldown, but Lil can just basically tiptoe around this. Jirax goes for the Stomp in the tree lines. He voids him. He's got more than enough damage, and Jirax is toast. Now top lane. Okay, Fly, what do you want to do? You just lost so many of your teammates. Icarus side back under the tier 1 tower. You have no friends to work with, and even S4 is forced to TP off this off lane. You said the laning phase is going to be rough for OG, but this is more than abrasive. Lil, no mana for Void.
They are putting so much pressure on the map. This is an absolute 5-minute beatdown by VP right now, and the problem for me, looking at OG here, is that I don't see the solution right now. It's just they have to sit back, try to find the farm, and eventually come back with a team fight. But usually, if it's this extreme in the early game, it's a problem. Sometimes you can tank a little loss. You know, we've seen other teams being able to come back. It's not like the game is just over at minute 5, but this is worrying for OG. The way this is developing, if this keeps going, this could be the most one-sided game of the Grand Finals so far. We need to see what OG managed to do when they find their levels. Unfortunately, the supports are just not... They're not finding that much. Jerax is still at level 3. What's the Night Stalker? Almost level 5.
Yep.
Phoenix 3.5. What's Warlock? 4.5.
Lil is phase boots
win as well.
Like phase boots, Blightstone plus the Iron Talon. He actually does work when he goes in.
Speaking
of going in, is Pasha. You've got Ana. He's got a haste rune, so Pasha can't just outrun this. Got to keep the distance. Care of the spins as Ana is low, but the stomp, perfect position. Flying as well with the sprites out. He's the man to get the kill onto Pasha.
Good for OG to find something now. They need Ana to get involved in these kills because of the shortcomings of their carry and of their support duo.
The lane switch have actually worked properly too. Like the fact that Ana is moving around in the jungle and letting the supports tank up on the top lane, get the experience, and it lets No Town take the mid, the Medusa, the hero which there's no way Dragon Knight should be able to kill the Medusa, let alone at least.
They need to have a hero sit mid constantly so Dragon Knight doesn't push the tower with Elder Dragon form. And it will be No Tail on that duty right now. She said Fly, getting some good experience in the top lane. It's gonna bottom lane skewer from S4. He brought in the Lifestealer. He has to TP out now again.
There's no friends to help him here. And the vision game from Virtus Pro, there's the Observer Ward behind the tower, so they know that S4 is alone. And the other Observer Ward is watching inside the jungle, exactly where Lil now initiates onto Ana. Ana's never a lot of mana. He's got 2 bottle charges up his sleeve. Needs to get back under the safety of the tier 2 tower. Not to mention the Spirit Stomp, but that both just got burnt. Another quick jump, but Void is available. Ana's in so much trouble. Virtus Pro, all 3 kills currently belong to the Night Stalker.
Such a good play from Lil here, just playing patiently, taking advantage of the Observer Ward he has, acknowledging that this Stomp is coming in from the Titan, keeping track of the mana. He decided not to use Crippling Fear because if he had done that, he wouldn't have had a second Void. So just holding the mana there, the beautiful play from him. And
it's daytime.
Yep.
Lil's fun
a little bit of a breather.
Moment.
A little breather for OG that they desperately need.
But he's already going to have the medallion.
Oh.
This is already up on him with all the kills. Skewer away. No one has triggered his Dragon Form.
Oh, wait. How did that just happen? I hope we got that.
It was RP. It was RP and then Dragon Form is off.
But he Dragon-tailed him. He must have Dragon-tailed him at the same time as RP, else S4 could have skewered him. He didn't get the skewer off. He got RP off, but no skewer. So.
Well, no one's looking for a kill now. He's got 6-1 charges up his sleeves. There's a lot of... He doesn't have enough mana for one of those stuns. When he gets hit by the Spirits of Fly, no one just cannot attack. He got hit by the tower as well, so Shadow Word has to start bringing his life back up again. No Talon's rotating over. He does have the Stone Gaze up. But there's no way for OG to hold them there when the RP is down and Elder Titan's on the opposite lane.
It's still good for No Tail to show up here. He stops the push. There needs to be presence. They have to show heroes, to show numbers, so VP don't just take control of everything. No, S4, damn it. S4 has managed to... I can't explain. Kobe, I really can't explain it. This is actually unbelievable. Anyway, so S4 has been able to get quite a bit out of his laning stage. I think he's played a very good off lane this game. He's currently level 6, going to be hitting 7 here from this double... What are they called again? Tomato and potato? They're not called Ursus anymore.
The Hellbears.
Hellbear, there we go. Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm just starting to forget things.
I don't remember my Nama.
But S4 is getting quite a bit here. So that is a bright side for OG. Their offlane went pretty well. If he does get a Blink Dagger, it opens up opportunities, but they still need the other cores to scale to have the damage.
The darkness coming into the tower. Because he used the Void already, Jerax very wisely TP's out and makes it so Fly doesn't have to fight. Fly, she didn't even have sprites up, so we couldn't really help. This darkness won't really be able to gain much. He does steal the bounty. Well, actually, I say that. He now rotates around behind the tier 1.
Doesn't see him with the ward because of darkness. So.
And the Axe is kicking up. They've got...
Look at their warding, by the way. OG.
Yeah.
They've placed 2 safe lane covering wards. That's how much Lil is terrifying them right now.
He can cut through that tree. If he wants to just run straight into Fly, he can do it.
Ana pinged him out.
Yep. He's right on top of the Dire Observer Ward. Darkness or not.
Now he's going to run over and find out Ana is farming.
Yeah, that's that Observer Ward he put down
Stole the
so long ago. GRX is trying to interrupt any kind of extra farming as well.
And meanwhile, they just have this Ramsey's Lifestealer farm like crazy. Midas, soon to be an armlet. Warlock is level 6. Dragonite is coming bottom. This tower will be pushed now by VP. Let's see if OG have any response. GRX is currently level 4, minute 11. And I think the Tome, actually the Tome is going to be used by Fly. So he's level 7.
Here's the TP coming in.
He is strong right now. This is a strong Phoenix with level 4 in Fire Spirits.
That's if they can force them into the fight. So there goes your first stop over on the Dragon Knight. Quick sprite out. Fly. If he, okay, he can't even think. He doesn't have enough mana. Like, he's still short to reach his Nova.
Raindrop is giving him 2 mana a second here. So 10 seconds for his combo. But now he won't have Fire Spirits, so using the Supernova is very difficult. And Lifestealer is a good counter in the first place.
He has Arcanes plus the Ring Aura now, so he's back up. But this push, once again, Dragon Form gets popped by Virtus Pro. The damage to the tower is there, but considering VP starts this game, the fact that OG are holding the line, or at least slowing down the line,
they stopped the bleeding.
It's a good thing for them.
They stopped the bleeding. It looked like this could be a very scary graph, but OG have made some good movements to prevent losing towers.
Ana, with all the movements that actually came out from No-Tail as well as him, he's at the top level on the board right now. He's the first one to hit double digits.
Got a lot of experience out of farming jungle.
Yeah. And also the farm to go with it. Looking towards that Bloodstone, has himself an Arcane Rune. Nice thing for the fight, as a smoke maneuvering from Virtus Pro.
Nighttime advantage.
They are fighting into the one area they don't have vision. And the Dire Observer Ward won't scout out anything either, so they wrap around. S4's the biggest target. He actually breaks the smoke. And he's back behind the tower, into the trees. S4 has to know something's a little awry, and now he definitely does. Lil reveals himself. S4 still under the cover of fog, and then Blink. Skewer pulling Pasha back under the tower. Pasha does get the call off, but with the Spirit forward, looking for the stomp. It connects on Pasha and Ana right in the middle of him. The Spirit damage. The Golem will fall, trying to turn the tide of this battle, but with Warlock already down and Pasha trapped in the trees underneath the Nova. That stun is actually going to cancel. They pull him back in with a Vortex. Ana will find a double kill. And Virtus Pro really pushing the issue at a tier 2 tower.
They just overdove a bit there. OG took full advantage of the positioning of Axe to get a good skewer in. Rams is going to force Fly away. So what happened there was if Axe gets the call off before the skewer, they can follow up with a Night Stalker Silence and maybe win that fight. But they gave the OG a lot of time to think about their response. That was like a 3 or 4 second dive into fog. OG with a better defensive position were able to hold and get some very important kills for Ana.
Dragon Knight's going to try and force down another tower with his form triggered on top lane. No-Tail standing its ground and fighting. Obviously a lot of OG's reinforcements from the bottom lane with no ability to TP top for the moment. So it's up to No-Tail to hold that tier 1 tower. And finally, Ramsey does bring down the tier 1 on bottom.
OG did a very good job delaying this long. That was not an easy defense by them. And they had to commit a lot of resources. I think they would have liked to have higher CS values than they do, but defending the tower is just more important. Sometimes you got to sacrifice it, a bit of the farm to keep the map control. Map control is generally the most valuable resource in all of Dota. That's why wards are so extremely good for the price.
These fights are going to become very, very interesting with both of the armlets rapidly approaching for Virtus Pro. In fact, one of them now being done over on the Lifestealer. It's going to be up to, would you even say it's up to Ana to ensure he gets that last hit in, ensures the kill, and then moves on to the next target and not get kited out by Toggle.
There's a couple of things. They have Fire Spirits. Sunray especially is really, really good against Armlet. And Supernova, of course. Like, Phoenix has so much damage over time that as long as he is on the target, they should not be able to toggle whatsoever. But if Fly is down, it can get tricky.
But look at this tight vision again. GRX, they got 2 wards up, and GRX is right between both of them. The Blink, the call, just in front of the Roshan pit. I don't think anyone's really going to get there in time to help him out. Silenced up, which means he can't stomp. And a quick Culling Blade down. And Pasha claims a kill.
Going to move in toward mid. OG again with defensive positioning. They will have Storm split pushing bottom. He actually doesn't have a TP. Infest. Oh, they want to go for him bottom. Nice move back here from Ana. Good read.
The Radiant Scan actually didn't hit. He moved to the west and actually avoided hitting the target. So Pasha may actually work out that he is just farming the side camp.
It was a good read from Ana. Now he needs to not give it away after. He's actually going to show on the wave now.
Ball Lightning's in quickly, take it out, and then get the hell out of here. And oh, wow. He went down south. Pasha jumps in north, doesn't get the call. And without that control, they do not find the kill. And S4 wants it now. Reveal the position. His Blink Dagger is up, so Blink RP is available. Lil having fun with Fly on the bottom rune area, and Phoenix just straight TP out. Fly understanding the situation. He was dead if he didn't do that exactly as he did it.
Scan from Dire. They will see that VP is still there now. The night is over. Darkness is online for Lil still, so they could look to extend this night whenever they want. But at the end of the day, again, OG are holding. This is Ana split push pressure made VP, tempted VP to try to go for the kill. They failed. Ana got out because of really, really good reads and is keeping his farm going.
It's that mid game you were talking about previously. Like OG seems to be able to find enough space on the map and not give enough over to Virtus Pro that that mid game becomes scary for like VP bearing down on OG.
This ward of flies is good, but they're under smoke. Pasha could find an opening here.
Yeah, it runs in through the rear. There's your jump up, double call. He got the big ones. He got Fly as well as S4. Jirac split. It doesn't create enough work, or actually it does. Combining it with the Stone Gaze, Pasha will die, but Medusa now left alone. Not enough mana for shield. And a big hit. Solo creating the space with a chaotic offering.
No mana on Ana to come in and join the fight right now. He needs time. He will try to split push top tier 1, but VP will be claiming the tower first. They can now choose between trying to defend top or going for more, or maybe both. Ramsey's going top, should be able to hold this, unless Ana wants to be cheeky. Can get a couple of hits in.
Going on live stealer would be pretty challenging.
I could have just tried to hit the tower sometimes and see if he could get the last hit, but rather leave it out of deny range and go for it later on.
Solo's actually trying to take the double stack of Ancients.
He's dealing some good damage here. He will get a couple of CS.
Yeah, with Fatal Bonds, he's actually taken 2 of them.
He got 3 creeps there.
Jirac is trying to hunt him down.
Not gonna happen.
No.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That was a high-risk play from VP once again. This time it works. It was similar to the play they made bottom, but this time they nailed the Axe call. And the moment that 2-hero call lands, the fight is almost won already. But that could have gone wrong.
It could have.
They not found it. Still need to be careful with these plays, and OG are definitely ready for them. Now here goes another tower. So VP claim all the tier 1s 18 minutes in.
And Rames was just able to slip up. Ana wants kills though. Yeah, the towers are going to fall. I think he understands this, but with that Bloodstone fresh on the Storm Spirit, they want to hunt. They want to find murder. And the easiest target for them right now is going to be Pasha and Solo. They're both standing on top of each other. S4 needs to get a little bit close. There's no vision up that hill for Virtus Pro, so no one. He's walking straight into it. Ana leaves the Remnant behind, a little bit of chip damage into that Dragon form. They're waiting for it. S4 still holding that RP, gets hit by the Breathe Fire, starts to skewer, just get a range of the control from the Warlock. Jirac's caught in the tree line, and back they go.
They really don't want to go on this Dragon Knight. It's so tanky, and they just are very limited on damage. I think the key ability to killing him is actually Sunray, but it's not going to do it alone, especially not with only level 2. Whoa, Ana!
The call is there. Fly. He lets the Sunray go. He's trying to keep the Storm Spirit alive. It's actually doing a pretty damn good job. S4, he thought about it. It could have been great synergy. Notal was in the perfect position with the Stone Gaze, but now they trigger Darkness.
That was flat out a bait from Ana. He wanted to get jumped there to set up the RP, but VP realized in time that that kill wasn't happening and that they were risking their positioning, so didn't go for it. Good play from both teams once again, but VP are coming out ahead. Sitting now on a 6,000 lead on the gold, and the experience is climbing up as well. But this is not an insurmountable lead for OG by any means. Their lineup isn't meant to be strong right now. They have got through the early game dangerous stage better than they could have hoped for, I think, after the 2K lead minute 4.
Yeah.
They've managed to do a good job here. And now the question is, what's the next play for VP, if they're waiting for any key items? Pasha will go for Force Staff, be able to bring the heroes back in. Lil will get the Axe. That is a big item against this type of lineup from OG. It's all about getting the jump, having vision advantage. Notel gets Mana Shield off in time.
Yeah, he needs to stay alive. Support is coming in. Jirac, the Spirit Stomp. Ramsey still protected. Lil actually dodges it. The Sunray is keeping Medusa up, but there's your call from Pasha. Ana jumps in deep. The RP from S4. It gets whopped. Only the Golem was affected. And now with the Nova, there will be a double stun on Nova and Pasha, but they're ready to fight once more. Dickerous dive away as S4. He will be culling bladed down. Pasha with the double kill. The initiations have been perfect for Virtus Pro when they've looked for them. And they're going for more. Fly wants a Sunray up. The call is there, but he only goes one direction. The bird is dumb when he's flying like that.
That was actually... The thing is, zero hero RPs like this look so bad, but it was so close to being a 3-hero one. You have to go for this attempt as OG, and the moment it misses, the fight is over. But if you don't even try, you're just sacrificing heroes. That was a potential good teamfight setup, and VP, they did a very good job splitting up to not letting OG find that, but that got very close. They still have to be cautious with this amazing teamfight of OG, and they're doing a great job playing around it. And this is why the Aghanims on Night Stalker will be so important. As long as they know where notes S4 Toby?
As long as I know where the Magnus is.
I'm going to call him by his hero's name, I think. That's probably better.
Whatever works for you, Sin. I'll go with you.
As long as they know where S4 is, it becomes very difficult for OG to find the fighting.
With no RP available, where is that ET Spirit? 3 seconds till it's up, and in fact, Jirax is TPing down. He just went to the bottom lane. They are doing nothing to even slow down VP on this Roshan. Upheaval becomes a buffer. The Virtus.pro don't even require it. I think Jirax understands he needs levels. This is a level 7 Elder Titan. He is the lowest level on the map, and he has no influence. That aura is meant to make Virtus.pro scared to go into OG. That aura is meant to lacquer on top of everything OG has for their team fight. And he's had to put everything into that. The Spirit doesn't have a lot of bite. It's a rough game for the Elder Titan. Oh, that blink. Skewer away. S4. Lucky to dodge Lil. Again, if that Aghanim Scepter is up, that doesn't happen.
Mid lane, they're thinking about it.
People slowing down Notel heavily. The Sunray is out, so Medusa still silenced up. Can't let the Stone Gaze go. Fly is keeping Medusa there. Here comes your Spirit into the Stomp.
Nice
the Culling Blade was too early. Lifestealer as well as the DK. They might get stopped for a second, but the damage is still being done. Medusa falls, and Ramses once more. Jirax, it is the biggest meat pile for him just to steal from. Another double kill for Pasha. He's been the man of the hour. Now 6-3 for him. A Blink Dagger on the DK. Initiation's getting better and better with every minute that passes for Virtus.pro.
And no one can play so confidently. There's nothing stopping him right now. He will only really die to a Sunray plus full magic damage first. His plus armor is good against the Elder Titan aura, so they can't bring him low enough on armor to be able to kill him with like the Medusa.
And they just got the mech for solo. Now they've got the burst regeneration and aura.
Yep.
This is the perfect game for Virtus.pro. Executed wonderfully. So patient in the fight, and here goes Pasha again. Blink Call, there's not a lot of mana on top of Ana. At the same time, you can say the same thing about Pasha, but support's rotating up. Lil plus no one are on their run. They actually scan, and it actually pings Ana in the tree line. They know exactly where he is, but now they've got to go further north. And he walks into it, no one. Short range blink. This Storm Spirit, 12 Bloodstone charges, can't even deny himself. Now down to 8.
I don't have much to say about VP's play in this game apart from pretty much one good decision after the other. They're playing exceptionally well.
It seems very tempered. Like they're in a great position for the fight. They take 2 kills, but they don't go too far. The only overextension you could probably even feel was what happened on the bottom lane, but that was a situation forced out by S4.
That's true. The one dive they did bottom was a misplay. The rest of the game has been extremely good. Dota gonna drop the rock on Notel
Medusa.
here.
Fly stands up again with a Sunray. Where's the support? Ramsey moves forward. Notel's trying to get rid of the column, but Upheaval is making this difficult. Ana in the neighborhood. Bring him back to the Remnants. There goes your Stone Gaze. So you do get rid of the golem. Where's the support? S4's waiting. He's still under the cover of Invis. He has his blink available. He wants them to group up so he can go for the RP, but VP's positioning is so scattered. He'll have to skewer into the 2-man RP, but there's just no follow-up. The ET Splitter won't do jack when Medusa is gone. The ET Splitter try to create more space, and he'll have to deny himself up. OG are down 2 cores with no buyback. And VP, like blood-crazed sharks, they hunt OG in this ocean that really belongs to them.
They're going to go high ground. They do have the Aegis on Ramsey still. No RP, no Earth Splitter, no mana for Supernova. Okay, yes, Styx, so Fly can go in here. But VP's heroes just seem unkillable. They're going to do this spread where Storm can't hit them all with Ball Lightning. They still have the mech ready on Warlock. That wasn't even used. So going to climb the tier 3, play it pretty safe here, and go for the top shrine surrounding or bordering the Roche pit. No, they were pinging it, but didn't want to go.
This is the no-risk Dota from Virtus Pro. Wait and see where OG is going to come out to. Don't lose this lead. You're now hitting 13, almost 14,000 advantage in net worth, 12k on the experience graph. Everything goes the way of VP. The Midases are making the richer.
Do they become the richest then?
They become Monopoly.
Because internet. Okay. So, okay, what upsides do we have for OG? It's hard to find them. They lost a lot of Bloodstone charges on Ana, but
they still have good team fight on the higher ground in defense.
Lincoln's on Medusa is completed, and he will be building in toward a damage item, I would imagine. If No Tail goes Mantis style, they still don't have any damage output, really, to speak of. But Midas...
Jump. Oh, short jump. They go over towards Pasha. Pasha takes a lot of damage when he gets hit by the Mystic Snake, and now into the Sunray. Fly started killing himself off, but with that kill, 643 gold into the Phoenix. They should be able to bring down the Tier 1 tower, and there's no buyback for the Axe.
They might pressure forward even further here.
You have RP available. So yeah, take the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 tower.
Aegis is down. All right, we were talking about upsides for OG. That kill was a pretty big upside.
Space created.
Kill and 2 towers in one play, more than likely here. VP might try to fight. They have Golem in 5.
They have the BKB also on the Dragon Knight, so he is going to be huge in this fight. Well, Ana jumps in, tries to clean up the wave. No one jumps up. There's your Sunray again. Need to keep him alive with the RP! Magnus hits on them all. The Sunray's been pushed down a little bit further. They've only killed off the Warlock with the ET splitter. It'll kick in. Ana is low. Ramsey's. The Rage will wear off in a second, so he has to start backing up. The tower is still OG's objective. They haven't brought it down. The denial not going to be possible. OG does get the last hit, but no tell. You can't leave him alone. Storm already did. Ana has left. He's gone top to start the push going. While Ramses and Lil, they start the fight. Pushing in towards the Medusa. Jirax tries to create space. They get the stun off with a Culling Blade. No towel will fall. OG trying to push the envelope. But they get punished as the pickoffs on the retreat only include no tell for the moment.
That was a really good fight for OG still, though. They set that up so beautifully with the great RP from S4 into a good Stone Gaze. Supernova wasn't used, though. I think Fly didn't have mana during the fight to get that off, and that could have made a difference. But again, it's just showing like how well it needs to go for OG right now. It's just the glaring issue is they don't have damage. There's 3 hero RP, 3 hero Earth Splitter, or at least 2. Medusa is hitting like, what is it you like to say, a wet noodle? Like, whatever it is. It sounds like something an Australian guy would say.
Wow!
So, am I wrong?
He's hitting like crikey. He's hitting like a fish. It ain't a beauty.
Like a wet fish.
Like a wet fish. A slippery wet fish.
Well, if you swing
the damage doesn't even stick.
If you swing it hard enough and it's the right fish, it can be pretty painful.
Okay, we're not, right now he is just a bad fish. He's not like a marlin.
Well, OG just had pretty much the close to a perfect fight, and it wasn't good enough. What is the next move?
The next move is to hide. Lil now has Aghanim Scepter.
Ramsey's good read here is going to hide in the tree line.
Jirax is probably going to try and push the Spirit down there to try and find him, which means Ana needs to jump straight away and get the Orchid off. If he doesn't, Ramsey just does that. Rage away. But you do have the creep wave with the catapult behind him. So OG, once again, they aggressively posture, looking for the kill. If they can get it, they guarantee the tower. Now, they guarantee a little bit of damage on the tower.
Ooh, this ward for OG is really good. They have a lot of information to play with here.
If they can actually make any use of it, the Yule Scepter is up. They try and keep the Axe under control so he can't blink forward, but the Dragon Knight, he's able to do so with a double breathe fire. Magnus will fall before he gets the RP off. Dragon Knight locked in stone for almost an eternity. Eternity is over, and he'll turn himself over to Medusa. The Storm, it's not he can't help out here. It's just run away. Ana's gone top already. The control is perfect. No one's damage output. The splash with both breathe fire and double damage Dragon form. He was hitting, like, we already had the Terrorblade doing terrible damage. This time around, it's the Dragon Knight.
They found Mag with Axe.
Oh, the jump! Oh. He got another one. He got the other Titan. Easy as pie.
Axe, boys. Pretty good. Just find that vision. Just give the vision for Dragon Knight to go on whoever he wants. That fight was... Night Stalker did so much work in that fight without, barely by casting anything, just being in the right place. gave Dragon Knight the easiest fight of his life, finding the Mag. The moment Mag dies, the fight's over. Like, OG, it doesn't matter if they play perfectly after Mag dies. It's just flat out impossible to win that fight. So they have to protect Mag. I think S4 needs to go for a Shadow Blade, or they need to play under smoke. The smoke expired and they didn't find the opening they were looking for. Sure, they got the tower, but it's not worth the heroes they lost, and the racks especially. Definitely a bad trade-off. Now VP, they've actually got really good vision in the OG base. There's no sentries.
The ping actually came out from Fly, so I think he's aware that that observer ward does exist. And the smoke being used by OG, wait, was that actually in range? Oh boy.
It's all in time.
But they're looking at Roshan. Roshan is up. It was a quick timing for him.
Takes forever.
OG kind of want to contest Roshan. They don't want to take it.
We'll be moving around.
There goes the Lifestealer illusion. It looks inside the pit. And the Dire scan, they don't find anybody. But here comes Virtus Pro. Under the cover of their own smoke, Ramsey's the one exposed. Now he jumps into Axe. There's no Dire vision on top of Virtus Pro. They have it closer towards the shrine. The VP are inside Roshan. Dragon Form triggered. They are going to start Roshan. So where is this vision? Oh, there's the stun, the blink out. No one was ready to engage. Fly does have buyback available, but without the shrine to TP2, getting into this fight is going to be very, very difficult. Not to mention, Lil is still a walking map pack.
He has darkness. That's Roche.
You thought the night was going to end.
OG can't get in.
Spirit Stomp.
They can try to steal it with Storm. He's
oh, jump! Snatches the agency model. It's Ramses that does it, and it killed Roshan. Now they turn their attention over towards Pasha. The stun, it won't connect from the Elder Titan. Dragon Knight has to wait this out with upheaval. They just can't really move anywhere. Anna's already leaving. He understands. Cut your losses. This fight is VP's.
That was actually pretty good from OG to at least get the Roche last hit. I thought they were going to get nothing there. Ana going for the risky play of trying to steal the Aegis. Didn't die in the process, at least. But there's just so little to look forward to for OG in this game. Medusa has died 7 times. No Tail is having a very hard game. I don't blame him. I think it's a super difficult game to play. And
here's that jump. The Ana Ball Lightning kill on Roshan. He wanted the Aegis. He didn't want to have that. Well, he'll take what he can get.
Yeah, something.
Because with the Aegis Immortal potential, he could have kept fighting there. Now he's got the Bloodthorn up and running. Like, Anna's doing what he needs to do. He understands that he needs to survive, not lose these Bloodstone charges, and wherever he possibly can, get a pick-off and buy time and space for OG. You've lost your mid-racks, you still hold your tier 2 towers, and you're still going to believe in the power of the Magnus jump. This is that late game which VP have been positioning perfectly against, but one mistake, one bad play, and OG might finally have enough damage to kill someone from VP.
I still think they require more farm on the Medusa, or the Storm needs a secondary damage item in addition to this this Bloodthorn. He doesn't really want to buy one though. It's if you go all in on damage on Storm, this hero is extremely difficult to play without anything defensive. There's a couple of stuns there. The Dragon Knight stun is obviously very good. The Night Stalker Silence is a big problem. Axe Call is a very big problem. And that is the reason he's buying a Lincoln.
So what you're saying is OG's got issues.
They have really big issues. And I would argue that this game is a lot more about draft than play, because I actually think OG have played a pretty damn good game. It's just extremely difficult to execute this lineup of theirs. And VP, not only is OG's lineup difficult to play, but VP's counters the big weakness that OG have early on. They have a great aggressive lineup to take advantage, and it's just super good drafting from them. I feel like Solo has maybe not been outpicked a single time the whole tournament. Their draft is always good, and the games they lose are mainly to themselves, to be honest.
Here they come.
Dominant. Here we go.
They wanted to Dragon Form. You know what he wants to do? Blink and Dragon Tail stun. Whoever can find. S4 goes for the skewer. Ramses was close by, but they just Dragon DK. And well, S4 down again. Buyback is available while VP, they're deep inside the base. Where is your jump in? Magnus actually holding onto his buyback. Now it's Pasha. Gets the call off, but you'll set it up pretty quickly. The jump forward is over on the DK. Now this BKB is one off, but the chaotic offering is absolutely perfect. Combining it up with the fatal bonds. The damage will Well, then again, now you've actually got Virtus Pro starting to retreat. Skewer back over. The RP is up for S4. Combining with a Shockwave and Sunray and the Stomp from Jirax. Virtus Pro have to stick around. Ramses, it's a sole survivor for this team. He's looking for a kill on Medusa. Make this worthwhile. But the Yule Scepter, it buys time. It buys space. They understand killing off Ramses. It's difficult, to say the least.
Great hope from OG, showing the strength of not buying back instantly. The lack of information for VP baited them to stay around, and the moment they saw this opportunity to jump on the Dragon Knight after the BKB wore off, the buyback comes in, they jump, and they get a fight. It's not a huge win for OG, but they get a couple of good kills. Still, they had to expend the buyback of Mag. Storm did die and lose Bloodstone charges again, and essentially, what was the outcome of the fight? Was it 4 for 2 plus buybacks? So pretty even, but because OG are behind, they get that extra influx of gold. So something for them, and actually a full Shiva for Fly now. He got really rich off of that fight.
Wow.
He got, I think, 1,000 gold for kill bounty.
He killed
alone.
Pasha and he killed Lil during that engagement. The only other money went to S4 for killing off Solo and No Tail for no one's death.
And Fly is almost level 18. His damage is starting to become really significant. And sure, you've got Lifestealer on VP, but the Shiva's level 3 Supernova is not easy to bring down, and you actually might have to try.
Like both Shivas and Skadi, like you actually have potential now from OG to kite.
Yep, you can definitely kite these heroes.
Let's have a quick look at it again. So S4 goes through this entire engagement. He forces the fight to happen very deep and underneath the shrines of OG. Now Virtus Pro understand they're in too deep. They want to back out. Pasha, that Yule Scepter timing.
Yeah, very nice play from Jerax there to counter out that.
And then the slap down. But the funny thing is, like, while all this is going on, now it's like, okay, I'm back. The fight can still be there. Let's jump it through the side, force off into that into the RP, nice. And then the Sunray Shockwave Stomp combo. The synergy, the timing is perfect from OG. They need so many more like that to get control of this game back. And I mean a lot more like that.
They're very good at holding high ground as a team. I think they're kind of reminding me of, what were they? The LGD team of the past that were just such a nightmare to push into on high ground because they really understood very well how to combine their abilities and what they can sacrifice and what they can't. LGD, funnily enough, were also very good at doing that exact play with Phoenix, or sorry, with the Medusa. Oh, Phoenix as well, actually.
Someone needs to buy this guy a new gem. He just walked underneath the Dire Observer Ward, so Virtus Pro understand exactly what's coming their way. And notice again, Ana refusing to be part of these fights yet. He's trying to get as much as he can by pushing up the side lanes before the engagements begin. He can just TP himself back into the fountain and then ball lightning to the front lines if he needs to.
The gem is a really good point. I think VP have to get it. They should be buying it already. I don't know if anyone can afford it, though. It doesn't look like it.
They just got 2 sentry wards coming out to Solo.
By the way, notice that Ramsey split his Sanjin Yasha into Manta plus Heaven's Halberd. He wants the Halberd to
found Ana.
Oh, yep, they did.
Lil has the vision. Ana is just walking around, but he is very, very visible. It's not enough for Lil to kill him by himself. Even though Ana doesn't have the Lincoln Sphere yet, gee, where is the vision for him? He sees almost nothing, goes into the tree line, still has no idea where Lil is, and Lil is playing the edge of it. Ana in the trees. There goes your silence, and will it last long enough? Ramses is there. He has to Bloodstone deny himself. The 70 seconds on the sideline, and they brought their entire team up to stop him.
Bloodstone deny comes out down to 3 now for Ana. Damn. Ramses is really hard, that MKB coming into play. So he's going to split the SNY. I think the main reason he wants the Halberd is to break the Lincolns on Medusa so he can get open wounds off. It actually makes a big difference that they heal off their attacks on the Medusa with the open wounds running, and that he can also set up his Dragon Knight for the Dragon Tail. The Manta, what's it really good for? He can break Fire Spirits. He can maybe, if he's very clutch, dodge the Titan Stomp.
What do you actually think about that Aghanim Scepter Titan Stomp? That is what's in the quick buy right now for Jirax.
It gives the disarm to the ulti. I think it's pretty weak overall, to be honest.
That's what he's putting his money into.
But it can make a difference. In my opinion, one of the worst Aghanim Scepters in the game. But there's a place for everything. The disarm against a team with this much melee in it can allow you to hit a pretty good stomp. Could be the deciding factor. Most of the time we see Titans super late game look toward a refresher, but the problem is Jerax doesn't have enough mana in his build. He's just too low levels.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's an issue. He has a lot of levels to gain before a refresher becomes a possibility. Even with Yules and Crest Mana Regen, that's not nearly enough on him. Only 674.
OG's moving out of their base. Every fight they've been looking to have an advantage in has kind of been like in their own territory, and I'm not even calling their side of the river their own territory anymore. That belongs to Virtus.pro for a while.
And they have very aggressive wards in the OG jungle. Currently not all connected though.
Phoenix gets revealed.
Bought a full AC, but he's not connected with his team. Gonna see if we're gonna have an infest play here. With Ramses. There's a ward, they find it.
Smart.
They don't. They still don't have, do they still not have gem?
The gem is on the ET. No, they haven't bought a gem. Long jump. Trying to use the Observer Ward. Anna burns half of his mana to get in there. I'd say with a couple of Bloodstone charges, he'd regenerate it, but he's got 3.
At least it's daytime for a little bit.
It's pushed VP away. They're not going to take the
for
engagement. He's still got another minute until Roshan. Like, this would have been the sweet spot. You got 3 minutes until it is nighttime, or 10 seconds until darkness.
I really wonder why they're not buying a gem. If they just aren't thinking about it, or if they don't think it's worth it. I feel like it's the best purchase right now for them out of anything, especially because, you know, not buying it. If you buy it when you're in a good position like this, it goes on the purchasing cooldown. So then you can, if you misplay later, you can have another gem later on. But like this...
Yeah, right now, their only gem they bought is in the hands of Durex.
Yeah, maybe they're expecting to be able to claim it back.
They go infest onto the Dragon Knight. He can breathe fire and push this mid lane in just a little bit harder. Roshan's up in 15 seconds. The Spirit from OG, they're trying to stay as close as they can. Their Observer Wards are on the Radiant side of the river, but as Dragon Knight wants to fight the jump in through the rear. They get that kill. S4 is down with no buyback. Medusa, the Stone Gaze, she hasn't triggered it yet. Is it going to be enough time? Now it's going to come off. Slow him down. Wait for these BKBs to wear off into the Supernova. And Dragon Knight, he can't get away. Bloodthorned up. Ramsey's actually stoned, and now they will have more time. The rocks will fall. The Fatal Bonds will hold him there. No one is toggling his way through this entire fight. They just can't get the kill. No tower will fall. And DK finally is down to the ball lightning, and it will get back into safety relatively. But he's lost 2 heroes. Fly is still on the run. No ability to dive. He'll be calling bladed down by Pasha. And Virtus.pro look for their second lane of racks. No buybacks for the 3 dead heroes of OG.
The key again is just finding
long jump.
He's going to TP.
He is delaying this. There goes your darkness.
This lane of racks is gone as well, for sure.
Yeah, they have to let it go. Fortified just buys time. OG understand they can fight the bottom lane. When they have Phoenix as well as Magnus back up again, they will fight it. And VP, so far from what we're seeing, they will pull out after taking this. They won't look for the engagement.
No. Not without their Dragon Knight, at least. It's just the problem that OG are facing is if Mac gets jumped, I don't see options. I actually cannot imagine how they can possibly win a fight if Dragon Knights get, or if the Magnus gets jumped. S4's positioning is almost impossible to play as well because of the Nightstalker racks. It's kind of one of those checkmate situations where getting the jump is almost an auto win, and having better vision is almost a given. And
they had the better vision anyway. They had an Observer Ward behind OG.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even deep ward. You had the gem on the Elder Titan, but you didn't get close enough. You didn't actually see the high ground point. So they had 2 Observer Wards around him. Yeah, Durex puts the Spirit in. So, well, Roshan belongs to Virtus.pro, and Lil dodges the Spirit. Easy. And now you got a heart on the Lifestealer. Oh boy. Leaves the cheese on the deck. Looks like no one's going to be picking that one up. And jump taunt. Elder Titan, come play.
He did.
Yep.
That's the gem back. Oh, nice we didn't buy a gem.
See, that's why you don't buy. Yeah.
Okay.
It was the plan. Actually, they bought a gem. There's one from Lil sitting on the courier back at base.
Yep.
You got enough money. And Virtus.pro, they come hunting again. This time there will be no Observer Wards outside the base for OG. And also, once again, Anna is trying to keep that pressure out through the top lane. You can look at the buybacks at the moment. Magnus is the only one with buyback. He's still short by 800 gold on Anna as Ramsey starts the assault.
He doesn't care.
No, Why would you? You got a secondary life plus a heart and a life steal. The skewer, it's on no one. Bringing him in range of the tier 4 towers. The free waves there, they just don't have enough. The Magnus up in the air with the Yule Scepter. RP is still available. And you get again the stoning onto the Dragon Knight, but the rock is perfect. No one's falling down. Low triggers a cheese. The RP is there. Will it be enough damage? Notel tries to split the damage out, but he's lost his Storm Spirit. He's lost that single target. The fly, the stun, it creates space. Comboing out with Durax as no one is falling down. He can't toggle himself through that one. Now Ramses, he will try and go for the run. You still have brought down all the racks, and so the Megas are on the field. And come on back, Pasha. S4 will skew you in. Lil wants to keep fighting, and so does Ramses. This Kai still has an Aegis. He wants an engagement. He wants OG to come to him. He wants to be one game up in the grand final, and all he needs to do is want it a little bit harder. Push the tier 4 towers and take it now.
40 seconds on the Storm Spirit. They're down mega creeps. Ramses is
burning.
More or less immortal.
Someone put some sunblock on him. Fly doing too much work. Spirits out, doesn't really affect Ramses, doesn't have his rage, but there's your call. It got Magnus. There's no RP. The spins are doing the work. S4 has to force up himself up, but now they're actually locked together. The photo bonds are there at the same time. Well, Lifestealer, that's not working for him. He has to toggle his way through under Notel. Remember, he's still got the Aegis. Finally, they'll burn him. He lost his friend in the axe, so there's less manliness on the front lines. Ramses wants to run. Durax will send him up and towards the air. No spirit, but here comes your TP in from S4. Where's your stun under rage? It doesn't exist. And Solo also successful, TP away.
Last game, we had the absurd damage of the Terrorblade on high ground. This time, it's the tankiness of the Lifestealer. He doesn't even have evasion apart. Well, he does have the Halberd, actually. How much is that again? So 25%. They have a crest. He actually has a lot of evasion, Toby.
Yeah,
Why do you say he doesn't have evasion?
I said nothing of the sort.
Okay, but seriously though, this Lifestealer currently has 30 armor, gets a crest on him, has the 25% evasion of Halberd already, and had the Aegis. He was harder to kill than Medusa for the VP lineup. And now the Megas are up. OG. They're going to stay in the game hoping to have this incredible team fight in their base, but
Notel knows what he's got to do. It's rapier time, boys.
there's no other play, really.
I mean, what do you do? He's got to sell while he's manned to get to that.
What did
he has the demon edge. He sold the wand, I believe.
Okay.
In fact, he's still holding on to that to this point of the late game.
Farm up some camps. VP are having none of it. They want to go.
Yep, they're coming in. The stun is already there. They found Ana S4. Yule Scepter will send up the Dragon Knight. Sets him up for the skewer back. No one's not part of this fight. Maybe with the Stone Gaze. They're keeping no one out of the engagement, allowing Ana and Notel to focus on the Immortal. I don't know why they want to do that. Ramses still alive, down to 1/3 life. The rock will drop. Gets the extra stun. They're bouncing around. Double buybacks. Required. RP still available. They come back in. The 3-man RP. The damage. It needs to happen right now, but no one's just standing his ground and doing the work. This should be it. This should be GG because you've got OG 1 foot in the grave, and now they're about to be pushed in by the Russians. Virtus Pro, they have wiped OG from the face of the earth and are now 1 game up in the Kiev Major Grand Final.
So I was saying after game number 2, what OG probably need to look into is having a better early game where they can build an advantage or at least be tied and not fall behind too much. I feel like they took a step in the wrong direction. I'm not sure